day number 4 of 31 days telling bike story every single day for National Cycling Month, okay? Today I wanted to talk about flat tires because it happens to everyone and I've had it happen a lot. And I've had different situations where I've had to get creative with ways of fixing the tire. So I wanted to tell a couple of those stories, okay? So unfortunately, this tube is not a very good example because the flat tire happened very close to them. When you get a flat tire, hopefully it's not close. And if you don't have any spares, or if you've used all of your spares already and you've used your patches, etc. So those are the first things to do. Always carry a spare. I always carry a spare. Even if you're gonna be the cool guy who gives the other person in the group who got a flat a spare, good thing to be the guy with the spare tire, okay? So I'm a big believer in that. So always have a spare. And then if that doesn't work, or if you pinch the tire again, then there's some other creative things that you can do, okay? So one of them that is a little bit of a hack, a little bit of a bodge sometimes, what you do is you find the hole. So we're gonna say that the hole's right here. And what you can do is if you get really creative, this one's kind of a thicker, supposed to be more robust tube, but you isolate the hole by tying a hole or tying a knot in the tube so that the hole is no longer getting inflated with air. Okay, so this is why it doesn't work if it's too close to the stem. You want to try to get it as small as possible. You really try to like tighten it up, get it as tight as possible. So then what happens is that the stem will inflate both sides once you tuck this back in. You do have to note that this is making the tube smaller, so you have to stretch it a little bit to get it in. But I have done this when I really needed to, and I needed to get home because there was just no one at home to call. And so I have done this and it does work. It sucks. You have a lump in your tire, doesn't feel very good, but will at least get you a couple miles home or to the nearest bike shop or something like that, okay? I've also heard of people like stuffing their tire with grass or things like that. I've never personally done that. But the point is that you can get creative. The other thing that I'll say is that it's also a really good idea at home. So come home, also patch your tires, okay? Part of the reason that I have tires here, I have multiple and I have a whole bunch out in the closet that I can show you is because I actually keep the tires. I don't just throw them away once they have a hole because they can be patched. So I would encourage you to either get a patch kit, right? This is a really handy one because it can be packed away well. But you have to buy it at least one time so you can get the scratcher thing, okay? But you can save a lot of money on patches by you go and get a little rubber cement. That's what is actually in the actual patch kit. So get rubber cement and then just use one of the tubes, it has to be your sacrificial tube, and then you cut pieces off of it. You'll actually see that's what this one is patched with, is a different tube that you just cut a little bit off. You scrape it just like you would on your tube, okay? Because the tube is working with the rubber cement, okay? So that's why it will also work as a patch. You do need to scrape both of them though. That's the difference. You wouldn't scrape a patch, but you do scrape that. And you scrape the makeshift patch that you're creating and the tube and put them together with the rubber cement. Work phenomenally. And I have lots of tubes that I've done that with. So don't just throw away tubes. Be good to the environment and recycle them and make it so that it uses and ways that cycling is. Peace out. Hope you enjoyed this story. Probably be telling more cycling or more patch stories here soon and ways of fixing things. So if you're interested in that kind of thing and if you're a cyclist, drop a follow and we'll see you out on the road. Bye.